Yeah,
Ranty, any time you want to come and have a chat about the pictures we take or whatever. I mean, I can't understand why Ranty hasn't been and took this picture himself. He's meant to have a camera. Why is he using Facebook and somebody else's picture? Why is he not going? He only lives just down the road. It's 13 miles away. Blackpool Tower.
Bev's gone and done it. I mean, what's wrong with you lazy buggers?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to say a massive thank you to Bev for coming on because he's almost telepathic. I wanted to get in touch to get him on to do exactly what he's done today. So a massive thank you to you, Bev. Thank you very much.
Horizontal's perpendicular to vertical. They're both straight lines. I mean, that's geometric.
It is assuming Euclidean geometry.
It's not. Horizontal isn't assuming Euclidean geometry. It's a straight line. Straight lines are straight.
Let's reword
Hold on, he's right. He's right. Hold on.
Geometry.
He's right. He's got me. You're right. I'll have to concede there. You're right, Bev. It's not even being pedantic. You're absolutely correct. I don't have to assume anything Euclidean. I'm just so used to the assumptions that are made and having someone play devil's advocate as a fundy. Mm-hmm. I'm wired that way. But you are right. No, it's just horizontal. Why do I need to assume anything? You're absolutely correct.
Yeah. The way we describe the space that we're in, I'm sorry, Nathan. The way we describe the space that we're in is Euclidean 3 space, right? X, Y, and Z, Cartesian coordinates. That's how you survey. That's how you measure elevation based on a horizontal.
3 coplanar points, and bam, there's the radius of the Earth.
On the level.
The way I phrase it is a monument to the curvature of the Earth. It really is.
Level.
It really is.
Level.
And bam, there's the radius of the Earth.
Nathan, we have Bev. He's here right now.
Yep.
This guy
Wonderful.
knows.
Perfect.
Bev is here.
Yeah, I was going to get in touch with him, but we have got a queue. But I was going to get in touch with you, Bev, to ask your presence. So I can't believe you're here. Brilliant. Excellent. But Brian, then Anthony, then Bev. Thank you for joining, Bev.
Okay, I'll be quick. This is the first thing I noticed yesterday when I saw this information. Was distance to object, which would be, they're talking about Blackpool Tower, is 12.2 miles. Eyesight level, they're calling it, 19.1 feet. It was a claim of that the photographer was 13.1 feet or something like that, and they added 6 foot on for the tripod, right, as they do, as Anthony said. Then the distance to horizon was 5.35 miles. Now, I went and I measured from the exact location with the exact height that they gave over to Blackpool, and it was just slightly over 5 miles to the shoreline, straight across to Blackpool. And the problem was this 0.35 miles was all kind of wishy-washy and undeterminable. Sorry. So it was like vague. It was all really vague, right? Right. I'm just going to show where. Where's the other photo? Here. So they were. 1 second. Now it's going to zoom in. Right. Right. They were showing over here, and this 0.35 was in here somewhere, in this kind of vague grey area. It's like you couldn't really argue with him about the geometric horizon in there because that's where that should have started, and this is all not clear, right? But they then kept the argument, right? So I'm just going to show again, their elevation, right, eye line elevation, right, just happened to just match the 5.35 miles that would put their geometric horizon into this heap of nonsense over here. And then they started arguing about the sky, because that's what they did, isn't it? They're arguing about what's going on up in the sky. But over here, you have the real horizon way off in the distance, going up further than their horizon. And they hid that part. This whole section here was hid. And more, the whole section here, was hid, right? And on top of that, as well as hiding that, they go over here claiming there is no refraction. So they cannot even claim there's refraction here because they already claimed there wasn't. When the Black Swan, they claim there's a load of refraction. Right? Not that it matters, but it's just saying that's what their claim is. But over here, now on this photograph, they already claimed there was no refraction, and they already debunked their own globe. So they have no argument. Sorry, I just wanted to point that out.
Brian, that's
hold on, Adam. Hold on.
That data you presented lines up with what they wanted to. It goes into that fuzzy zone, so it's not. and that's why that side was cut off, because it provides the data that just demolishes the ambiguity in the claim.
We need to know who it was that cropped off that left-hand side. Somebody's done that. Who was that? And I'll just give way to Bev. I want to hear what Bev has got to say.
Well, even though, okay, I'll introduce Bev in a second, but you were asking who's championing this, who's out there on the circuit actually promoting this and arguing this. And it came up yesterday. We'll brush past it, but I wanted the question to be asked again. That was all. It didn't necessarily be rhetorical.
Yeah, other than Ranty, who's pushing this?
Perfect. I've opened up the, just before we get Bev in, I've opened up the public chat. So if you do want to chat from the public, if you're watching this live right now, then you can, as we introduce Bev. Are you there, Bev? I'll actually say hello to you, yeah.
It's not too loud in the background there, the washing machine's going. Is that all right?
As I said earlier, I was going to invite you to come based on the fact that my understanding was that your son had taken a picture that's very similar. Is that correct?
Yeah. We saw the original video done by Cats at like last weekend or something. Maybe it came out Saturday, Sunday. And as we saw it, it's like, oh, that's close to where because we normally go a little bit further down on Southport Beach. That's where we took the sunset picture. Just a bit down the way there. So it's like, oh, we recognise that. But the picture looked a bit, there was something wrong about the picture. So we just went, as soon as my lad finished school, it was like, come on, let's go and have a look and we'll go and take a few pictures, So we went down there, tried to get it at sunset-ish time, because when you look at that other picture, the mountains are like obviously at sunset when you know where the sun's going down. The mountains and the shadows are definitely. Yeah, and then the Blackpool was like darkly lit, and it just didn't seem right to me. So we went there to go and take a picture was to see the Lytham and Blackpool, Lytham St Anne's seafront, to see how the light hit that. And as you can see in the picture that I've put in the chat there, it's lit.
Hold on. I can Bev. Just one sec. Who's presenting at the moment? Is it Brian? Any chance, Brian, that you can...
Yeah, I stopped sharing, yeah.
Yeah, I just want someone to actually bring up Bev's picture now, so we've got a stark contrast. So now, the picture we've just seen is from the artist whose name I can't forget to credit. I'm really sorry. No one else can credit
Kevin Jackson, Nathan.
Say it again, please.
Kevin Jackson.
Kevin Jackson, I think his name is.
Yeah.
Kevin Jackson's picture. And now we're going to transition to Bev's picture, if Brian's good enough to present it for us.
The one
Or anybody
before Ranty did what Ranty did when he put it with the other one. Because Ranty darkened it. He did all whatever Ranty did with it. I mean, I was going there to show them, like I say.
On Skype and I presented, sorry.
Oh, Adam's got it. It's okay. Thank you very much.
It's okay.
Just bear with me a second.
I can get you some more if you want. I'll put them in the...
It's all good. I just need to do a bit of admin. Just bear with me a second, Bev.
Okay.
If you can just zoom in a little bit for us, Adam, please.
I've just pulled that out of
Open original.
Discord. Yeah, I'll open original. Cool.
Oh, down. Oh. Maybe leave it that scale and just put it on a bit that's nice, and I'll get it. That'll do. Just leave it with the big one and. Perfect.
There's the marker, look.
Okay, we've got it up and we've got it focused on the section to the left with the marker and the big one on the right. Okay, go ahead, Bev.
So see the way that Lytham and Blackpool seafront and all of the houses where the big massive refraction is, that's all lit up. You can see it. It's lit up, obviously. Not like a dark black line that is on the other photo. So that's all we went there for, was to, make sure that Blackpool's lit up. Because when I looked at it initially, I mean, if I still look at it now, Blackpool looks like a sunrise Blackpool, all misty and dark. And as you can see, the sunset Blackpool is all lit. All of those houses along that seafront are gleaming. There's little lights, it's sparkling. It's as though you can see the reflection in the windows of the cars running down the seafront. And there's all sorts of sparkles. It's not dark. So that's all we went there for. And when I initially showed Ranty that picture, that's what I was trying to convey to him. I said, that other picture looks too sharp. It's too crisp. It's like a professional photo, like it's been touched up.
Well, it is a professional photo. That's exactly what it is.
I know.
Okay.
So Bev, was I correct that it was near sunset?
Yeah, that's what, because the mountains in the background, I had to go and try and replicate the shadows and the time that the shadows on the mountains in the background of the original picture to go and check that Blackpool isn't dark. But I mean, people have told me since that because the mountains are white, that will darken Blackpool. I don't believe it.
Can I just point out that historically, ball earthers would always tell us that when you go anywhere near sunset, that is where the most amount of refraction would be. But now, conveniently, because it suits their model, they're now saying that there's no refraction. I don't know.
Did you see the GIF that we put in as well? There's we took a time lapse of 30 minutes just before sunset to see what happens, and it's like Skunk Bay. It moves.
Hold on a second. Perfect. Oh, I'm sure the guy who did Skunk Bay likes dishing out copyright strikes, but that is perfect because it essentially shows, not in real time, but in something you can watch in real time, their horizon moving around.
That's 30 minutes.
Okay, let's just get that sorted. Sorry, there's going to be a delay. People watching live. This is how it is. Yeah. Who's presenting now? Adam, please, can you, if I take you off screen for a second, can you go and dig out that GIF? This is epic. I'm so glad you've joined it. Almost telepathic. Adam, can you get this up or not?
That's the stuff we've been doing at the minute.
Hold on, Bev. Sorry. Just one sec, Bev. Just want to sort out the admin, then we'll get your opinions again.
This one with these swans and...
If you can get it up and get it scaled, I'll pop it back up, your screen back on once you've got it. Just let me know.
Okay.
I don't know yet. You tell me.
I think I've got Ranty and that's in a white swan. Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, let's ignore the GIF, the comedic overlay. What are we looking at? Please don't interrupting people in G+. Can you tell us what we're looking at, please, Bev?
This is a time lapse of 30 minutes just before sunset, because as we finish this, we turn the camera to film the sunset. So this is as the sun's going down. It's getting cooler just before sunset, and a 30-minute time lapse, and you can see the distortion occurring within Blackpool Tower. It's as if you see the proper one. It's stretching like an accordion. From the bottom up, like the whole image is lifting and compressing and all wobbling. Because what you're doing is you're looking over.
So that the mountains are in the background.
Hold on, guys. Just wait till the end, Anthony. Just let him get his piece out, and then all questions will let loose. But just let Bev get to the end. Thank you.
It's stretching of it as it's getting cooler. Everything's lifting. The purpose of this was to show Ranty that you can't measure an angle to any of that. It's useless. Nobody ever does that sort of thing. In reality, the only people that measure this sort of pictures and put rulers on pictures are people in these Discord servers. In reality, it's not ever done. Nobody ever measures those angles. In fact, even everybody that's dealing with these pictures, they're taking the numbers from somewhere else and then calculating an angle. I don't know. It's crazy to me.
Okay, is there anything else you want to add before I get Anthony's chomping at the bit?
No, go on.
Go ahead, Anthony.
What we need is on a clearer day when the mountains in the background are more visible, so it's a bit more like Skunk Bay. Obviously, Skunk Bay is taken at elevation. This is taken at sea level. what you'll be able to demonstrate is that the mountains in the background will do exactly the same as the mountains on Skunk Bay do, which appear to breathe because they're moving up and down. And the middle ground, which would be the tower in this case, is also going to be breathing. They're both independent. They're both deviating from straight lines, not curves, straight lines, deviation from straight. And because it changes from point to point to point along the ray of light, that's the reason why they're going to be up and down. And you can't make any, when they claim that there's no refraction here, it's nonsense. Of course there's refraction. We're in the refractive layer, so we are going to be distorted by it. But it's just astonishing that they'll believe.
Hold on, whoever's. Hold on. Is that it, Anthony? Because I just want to make a point to that, and then Brian.
It's just astonishing that they will claim, because it's convenient for their model, that there's no refraction after previously saying that there's the most refraction during the day. But it's like this all day, every day, anyway.
Okay, so Bev, correct me if I'm wrong. Unless it's just me imagining it, am I drawing my mouse along the line of the mountains behind, and they look like they are doing precisely what Anthony just described?
Yeah,
I was going to say
the whole image is moving. Yeah.
I was going to say, Anthony, maybe it's just the way you've got your screen set up. But from what I'm looking at, I can see the mountains behind moving at a slightly different rate, almost like they've got a parallax with all of the rest of basically the whole image moving.
Have you seen the image? Right, because there's like 10 miles across to the bay to Blackpool, and then there's like maybe a mile or so of land from the front to Blackpool Tower. Then just beyond Blackpool Tower, there's another 30 miles of Morecambe Bay. So there's another band of water that can affect the atmosphere behind Blackpool Tower and the mountains behind. Yeah. So it's not surprising that they're all independent.
Well, there's another additional point to be aware of here. This is a northerly observation. Mm-hmm. Me and Ranty went to an observation where he was looking north through an estuary and I was looking south, and we were both meant to be looking at each other. Now, he could see me clearly, but he said to me, he said, "Can you see the cargo ship on the horizon?" I couldn't even see the cargo ship on the horizon that was halfway because I was looking south. Yeah. So we both had very, very, very different observation standards at that time. Yet he could see me clearly. I couldn't even see the boat on the horizon halfway between the two of us. So it's like, just be aware that because this is a northerly observation, you can expect better clarity when looking north. This is an ideal observation. We should spend more time doing this. It's brilliant.
It's just a picture.
Yeah, may I have a take?
We're charging them to. Sorry, is there anybody that's going to champion this just before we transition?
Yes. Bev, do you get the understanding of why I asked to use a drone? If you have a drone or Bev has a drone?
I said Ranty's got a drone. He could go there to Blackpool Tower. He could fly his drone around it.
Do it. Yeah. Exactly.
I'm not doing it. I mean, like, we went there to go and check and take a picture. Now, we have found this Skunk Bay effect. And I said, my lad was well chuffed when he seen that. It's like, well, we can definitely go there on a better day and film for longer. And you will see a better effect than that. We will be able to get definitely a good effect, showing exactly how much is moving around. And can I also say, Ranty's never said anything to me yet. He's never asked us where we were. He's never asked us what camera we were using or what focal length it was or what temperature it was. It's really strange that Ranty's just took a picture that we posted to show that the lighting effect was wrong. And he's using that as a proof for... I don't know what he says it's proof of a globe Earth, and I think that's fantastic for somebody who's supposedly done 5 years. So, Ranty, any time you want to come and have a chat about the pictures we take or whatever... I mean, I can't understand why Ranty hasn't been and took this picture himself. He's meant to have a camera. Why is he using Facebook and somebody else's picture? Why is he not going? He only lives just down the road. It's 13 miles away. Blackpool Tower.
Bev's gone and done it. I mean, what's wrong with you lazy buggers?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to say a massive thank you to Bev for coming on because he's almost telepathic. I wanted to get in touch to get him on to do exactly what he's done today. So a massive thank you to you, Bev. Thank you very much.
Can I say something to Bev real quick? He was here yesterday,
can be.
by the way. He was here, by the way, yesterday. He's the one who.
If you are watching either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley premiering streams, then stay tuned as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, if you are watching this live, this is where we bid you farewell. So a huge, massive, enormous thank you to both Discord and G Plus panels. I've been Nathan Oakley. See you in the after show.
Okay, can I ask these questions now? Oh, we can't hear now.
Yeah, we're getting voice moved.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah, Bev, if you that drone would be. I'm sure you understood me right away when I said the drone.
Ranty's got a drone, yeah.
I'm sure you understood me. I was like, you got a drone? You were probably like, I know what you're talking about. I know what you want to do. Like go up and down, you know.
Yeah, Ranty can do it.
Next one in the picture.
Yeah, he right, but that's good. That's good because what do Globers do? Not research. What did we do immediately? Exactly what a diabolical genius would think. Of course, we're going to search out the source. Yeah, I know.
Where you were going
but
then?
Of course, we're going to go and do our due diligence. Who's this by? Where's it from? Where the hell is the rest of the photo? Hey. Are Glovers going to do that? No. That's why they're walking into this wall.
He's an astronomer, the guy that took the picture. He's not going to want to come and talk. I can tell you that.
No, I don't doubt it. Whoever's presenting.
You know why?
Hold on, just a second.
You know why it is, right, Elijah? It's because the Globers want to be entertained. We want to be informed.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
Whoever's presenting, can you just click hide on your little Google bit?
Oh yeah, sorry, I'll do that now, Nathan.
Thank you.
Can I say something about why I'm presenting again?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, the reason I'm presenting again is I think that the point I made earlier was lost. It's not just that they hid some kind of using a particular, there we are, right? They use this exact elevation eyesight height, right? Or this exact distance to put their horizon, their geometric horizon, right? By now, somewhere into this dark area over here where it's kind of miscellaneous, right? But when obviously to the left, they hit this part here to the left, because it shows that the horizon is not there. It's way up past this. And because of compression, and we don't even know how far this marker is here, but we know straight over from here to over there is 30 miles, right? Maybe a bit more, right? But they already, right, I am on board with people going out there and getting time lapses and everything else and getting people to do the stuff or getting Ranty with his drone or whatever. But they already claimed there is no refraction in this photograph. So if the horizon is further than it can be on the globe, which it is, right? They can't even claim refraction with this photograph like they tried to do as a hand wave, which is what they tried to do with the Black Swan. They can't even argue that point with this. They've given us a Black Swan that's better than the Black Swan we have, if you know what I mean. Because
well, not
they
really.
Can't even claim refraction because they've already said that wasn't
Make sure the photo's real first. It's not been touched up.
Just want to correct something for Brian. No, there's method in the madness of almost leading them down the path of claiming refraction, because refraction as a claim requires R, and that was
I know that
intentional.
I understand that part. Yeah, I understand that part. But the point I'm making, I understood. I've even argued with him against that about that. Like, I understand that why QE put that in there. But the point I'm making about this is they have even killed that direction of their own argument.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
They can't even go down that road.
I totally agree.
Claim there is no refraction.
I know what you're saying. You're saying for the uninitiated.
They can never go down that road anyway.
You're saying for the uninitiated trench level glober, who's too dumb to not only understand the Oda Silence argument in the first instance, is just going refraction. Well, for that guy, he doesn't understand that refraction ultimately leaves their model in a paradox because their refraction requires R, required by a geometric horizon, therefore destroying the globe forever. If they're too stupid to realize all of that, and they're just refraction, you're saying that in this instance, Are you going to refraction at us when the person claiming it is making it explicitly clear that there isn't any because he needs to apply triangles to it?
Yeah, well, they've already claimed there was no refraction. Ruhif, Katz, all of them, no refraction. No refraction, no refraction. But they can't even argue that point with us, even though they lose on that point because it requires the refraction, the standard, the refraction they're trying to claim. In this, they can't even say that. They can't even claim refraction because they already claimed there wasn't in it. That's my point.
So there is refraction and there's no refraction. Awesome.
That's probably why they're saying there's
Morning,
no
guys.
refraction.
Well, no, it's part of the bait and switch. What they would argue, I'm just speculating, and Arwin collared this perfectly and summed it up beautifully yesterday. But they'll say that in their world, yes, we have an atmosphere, and yeah, in our world, light does refract around a curve. But in your world, no refraction. You're like, whoa, what are you talking about? And have we ever said no refraction? Well, because we say refraction, you say it's wrong. No, we say you use 7/6 of a radius value, and refraction is real. We observe it. It's just not your terrestrial refraction in a bait and switch. No, you say no refraction. I'm burning that straw man. That's how that will go. So in your model, no refraction. In our model, 7/6R. They're thick.
Yeah, but they claim no refraction for their proof.
Yeah,
they
in
claim
regards,
no
yeah.
so they could take these nonsense angles.
Yeah, in
that
their
they can't take on
world,
a
when
flat
they...
surface.
Well, you're not listening. They're claiming a flat earth debunking, calling it a white swan, and saying no refraction. Why? Well, because our straw man model that we're holding up that nobody's claimed as a flat earth model only applies angular size reduction, needs straight lines just like their globe when they're using tangent planes, I might add, and therefore no refraction. You go, well, what? So no refraction in this image? No, standard refraction's always in our model, but that's when we obviously know we've got an air that's sphere-shaped and we're on a globe then. So that's how we're comparing it. Yeah, refraction when we do it, but only at the standard rate. Nothing out of the ordinary. It's like, because then the person who's arguing with them doesn't realise that when they say refraction in both instances, they're saying, well, no refraction on a flat earth, because that's what you claim, isn't it, flat earth? That agree with me. I'm going to be burning that straw man in a minute, and it fucks up my maths if I can't use straight lines. So you're going to be arguing as a flat earther that we've got no refraction because I'm going to be burning that argument later. But when it comes back to the globe and my assertions, not only will I not include the angular size that I'm arguing for and burning also as a straw man, that'll be ignored as well. We've established that when someone pointed out what Rant is actually claiming. In line with the globe, i.e. part of the begging the question proof of nothing perspective hijacking earth curve calculations and their feet and inches values. If you think they're not content to do it when it comes to the angular size itself, which they're absolutely going to be doing, and Ranty's made that clear from what I understand, you don't think they'd also do it with refraction? Yeah, they'll just say no refraction on a flat earth because that's what you claim, even though it isn't. They'll just decide that that's the straw man they're burning. But refraction on a globe at 7/6R, because yeah, we have got sphere-shaped air. Atmosphere, standard rate refraction, because they've bait and switched you into thinking that refraction that we're saying doesn't happen on a flat plane is actually standard refraction on a globe because it's always in effect. So I can always pad out this argument to exactly how they'll do it. We've been doing it for 6 years. That's exactly what they'll say. Only on your model is it no refraction. Standard refraction's always in effect on my model.
No, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why they can't say that. Because number one, they needed to be there to be no refraction for them to do the angles that they needed a flat plane to do. But secondly, there is no geometric horizon. They have nowhere to go. They can't even make that because the horizon is stretching off over to the land at the other side. They have nowhere to go with this.
No, I agree. I'm not decrying how wonderful it is as a globe killer. Oh, yes, Brian, they are absolutely screwed. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that when it comes to the assertion that, well, you've said there's no refraction. Well, how do you account for it on a globe? Well, when I use a begging the question proof of nothing perspective hijacking earth curve calculator, there's always a standard rate of refraction in that model. The standard is what compares to your no refraction when I need to use triangles to claim that you have as a straw man that you're not making that it's only angular size. So they'll just say it's only not in effect on your model that you haven't claimed when talking about the flat earth and the angular sizes that are also ignored in their maths. Because that's a different model, isn't it, Brian?
Yes, but they're going to need the geometric horizon, which is they don't have.
Yeah. I'm not. Again, hold on.
They're missing that, aren't they?
I'm not.
Told us we've never seen that.
Yes.
Gosh,
I'm not decrying what Brian's point is. You're absolutely right, Brian. It doesn't change anything. Just saying there is still always an argument from a Globe Trencher's point of view, and that is the argument that they'll have. I already know. They've already had it. I've already had it with them on other occasions, so I know what their argument will be in terms of juxtaposition in false dichotomy, if you want a nice long title for it.
So I understand that they're going to try and say, just let me finish this out, Elijah. Sorry, I'll only be a moment. I'm sorry. But I understand what they're going to say. Well, there's standard refraction because that's based on the OR. But where is the geometric horizon in this photograph to give them the standard refraction? It's not there.
You know, we do have a geometric horizon, though. It's horizontal. Right?
Cleary?
Hey, what's up? We do have a horizontal geometric horizon that we see. You know, we don't see a curved sphere edge.
That's true.
But it is geometric. It's optical.
Okay, if you like. You can utilize it in that manner. You're assuming the Earth's a flat plane when you do so.
Yeah, it's parallel planes, you know, with elevation.
The horizon visual thing.
I mean, immediately it depends on your optics. You use your eyes, and there are things between you and the horizon that you don't see. You use a camera and you zoom in, and there are things between you and the horizon. So obviously it's optical.
Yeah, horizontal is a geometric term, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yes, but then you're assuming the Euclidean in the first
that's
instance.
just the definition of horizontal. Parallel with the plane of the horizon. Horizontal's perpendicular to vertical. They're both straight lines. I mean, that's geometric.
It is assuming Euclidean geometry.
It's not. Horizontal isn't assuming Euclidean geometry. It's a straight line. Straight lines are straight.
Let's reword
Hold on, he's right. He's right. Hold on.
Geometry.
He's right. He's got me. You're right. I'll have to concede there. You're right, Bev. It's not even being pedantic. You're absolutely correct. I don't have to assume anything Euclidean. I'm just so used to the assumptions that are made and having someone play devil's advocate as a fundy. I'm wired that way. But you are right. No, it's just horizontal. Why do I need to assume anything? You're absolutely correct.
Yeah. The way we describe the space that we're in, I'm sorry, Nathan. The way we describe the space that we're in is Euclidean 3 space, right? X, Y, and Z, Cartesian coordinates. That's how you survey. That's how you measure elevation based on a horizontal.
That's great. But what I think Bev's point is that when you're just describing something as being horizontal, there's no further assumptions that are required. You can just make that statement as a statement of fact. Correct, Bev?
Well, it has to be measured horizontal, right? A horizontal is a very definite position in reality. It's a position of even altitude.
Just let Bev get to the end of his point before you all jump in. Go ahead. Can you just repeat yourself, please, Bev?
It's just a position of even altitude in reality. It's used by everybody, and everybody understands a horizontal reference, right? And they all understand the vertical. Horizontal and vertical are perpendicular to each other. I mean, that's a geometric fact of reality. Nobody needs to go around that.
Correct. I use it in flooring.
I don't think
You're absolutely right.
think anyone is willing to argue that horizontal isn't a straight line either. So
indeed,
yeah. Which is strange where Ranty's done this. I mean, even Katz was doing trigonometry, right? So the distance is a measured horizontal distance from A to B. Now, they had Blackpool Tower along the way there. So they had a vertical distance of the mountain and a vertical height of Blackpool Tower. Now, those two verticals in their drawing, using the trigonometry that they used, were both right angles. They were both right lines, which would have made them parallel to each other. It's the only way triangles work in reality. That's the basis of surveying. I mean, that's what we've been doing all this time. It's just trying to base on, is level horizontal or is there a curve? Loads of people say there's a curve. It appears Ranty now thinks that horizontal baseline has a drop to it. I don't know how that occurred from looking at a picture, but yeah, it's horizontal and the vertical.
Insanity. What is going on?
No, it's willing ignorance. He's just playing around.
Yeah, I think he's trolling them. I think, seriously.
I think he's trolling them.
This is as though he's leading them into this conversation right now. What Ranty has to do now is explain: is there a drop or is there a hump? Which of the globe Earthers is he? With the water level dropping from your position, or the water level humping in between the two ends of your water level? Like, you know, that's the age-old baller paradox. Ballers don't want to do it. I think they've pushed Ranty up to have a go at it. It's going to be fun times.
Maybe they hired them.
Go on, whoever it was.
Bev, do you think Ranty's being sincere in his position at the minute?
I don't know. I think if Ranty's either doesn't really understand and he's never looked into the geometry of how it all works, or I don't know. Like I think there's a load of people at the minute that the logic has been taken away. So there is no logic to base anything on. Therefore, anything can be imagined as being true. And I don't know, like...
Yeah, I agree with that. People are saying, running around saying level is curved. Yeah, that's not logical.
Well, you know, I had a debate with Zanuck some time ago about 200 feet of missing buildings supposedly across Lake Pontchartrain from the 8-foot observer and Soundly. And he gave like where he was. And I said, based on this angle, the 200 feet that are missing is literally obstructed by the causeway. And Ranty couldn't work out where that was. And there's only 2 points of the bridge that it could have been. And they're miles apart in distance. And it's easy to figure out which parts you're looking at, but he just couldn't see it. He thought it was the one that was, the angle is impossible. Like, we worked it out in Google, and he was looking at what I was looking at, but he didn't come to the conclusion I came to. And at that moment, I was like, that's when I figured maybe he doesn't understand this stuff, because when it comes to perspective, he was kind of, in some ways, seeing Zanuck's point.
Yeah, Ranty's been confused
And,
for a while.
I guess I'll judge up the video and make my point clear, like maybe tomorrow or something.
The problem with Ranty at the moment is that if he really is holding this position and it's an honest position he's holding, he's going to have to explain how it was that he was able to see Blackpool Tower from Hoy Lake 30 miles away when it's all meant to be behind the curve of the Earth. He's seen that with his own 2 eyes. He knows that that's not got any drop to it. He's going to have to explain that because that's his hometown. When it's your hometown, you're kind of sentimentally attached to it. He can't explain that if there's drop, because it shouldn't be visible, and he's seen it with his own camera.
He said yesterday it was because he normally looks south rather than north, so he's never seen it looking south. But when you see a picture on Facebook of somebody looking north, then it's there. Wow. Amazing. I don't know.
That's not true, because he's seen it from Hoy Lake looking north.
That's what Ranty said, though, yesterday. I mean, Ranty says all sorts of things, doesn't he? They're not necessarily any of them ever true.
Hang on, what did he say yesterday?
He said that the reason he'd been at Blackpool looking south all the time at like the Welsh mountains, right? He'd never seen any curvature at all. He'd never noticed it. So for 5 years, instead of just going down the road and looking up towards Blackpool Tower, he'd never seen any. And it's just the picture that he saw on Facebook and the other one. I mean, he did a big show yesterday.
But Tony, have you watched the actual video?
Ruhif's involved in this again.
Oh, Ruhif, definitely. Ruhif's give us the Ruhif numbers, the drop numbers from 100 meters, 200 meters, the ones that we're going to use to prove a straight line and show there is no curve over a short distance. Ruhif gave us them, so this is definitely Ruhif covering his ass. If you
Ruhif's an abject moron.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
This fucking moron. He compromised himself. Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead. Got to be chocolate.
Always.
Yeah, I figured.
I want to know why you got your dates confused, QE.
Say again?
You got your dates confused. You got the numpty clips on Tuesday, April 21st. Wednesday, April 21st.
What the fuck? Who cares?
I'm confused. I thought I missed it.
Administrative error.
April 21st? What the hell are you even talking about? My God.
Back to Ruhif. What's the issue?
Ruhif, in 15 seconds, the Ruhif moron bashes his own face in with a spade shovel. I brought this up yesterday. From 11:30 to 11:45 on their belly laugher video, he puts up his software sheet and he says, I put the globe to false, right? Right beneath it, he then applies 7.6R refraction to his quote-unquote flat model. What's he going to do next? Married bachelor reconciliation? You friggin' bozo. Then he invokes ray tracing. Ruhif, do rays exist in reality? What
Ooh. Can I respond?
You may.
If you were to ask Rumpus that, he would say they're not real, but you can treat them as if they were real.
You could think of them as real, yeah.
Yeah, why not?
They have been calculated for.
And let me just say this, so this is on the record for you numpty dipshit baltards. Do we have anyone championing this? Your average baltard just running around with this? Anyone?
It's about
Oh,
six.
oh, yeah.
Six. Okay, go ahead. Who's championing it? Because it's about the 8th time, 6th or 8th time thereabouts that's been asked.
There's quite a few of them.
It's as far as I'm aware, it's only Ruhif, right?
I just want to bring this point up because I don't think it's been talked. I don't think it's been talked about all that much when it should be talked about. I want to thank them for bringing up angular size change with distance. That's a positive that's come out with this.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want you to please call Mick West, Walter Bislin, and Jesse the Klutz Kozlowski, and let's start adding angular size change in the calculations. Okay. Another thing, let me brighten your horizons with this one, knuckleheads. Performing trig functions on graph paper is not the same and is not in the same friggin' world as applying trig to distant objects. You friggin' numpty dipshits. We need the observed angle measurement, theodolite, sextant, from that observation point to Blackpool Tower, and you're going to feel the previous point. You dumbasses.
Yeah, they are. They're trying to compare. You're using angular resolution now. Why do you compare that to the Black Swan? These guys are goofballs, man.
That's not my points right here.
I understand that. I'm just saying what's going on in the chat. Yeah, there is ballers that are arguing with this. It's amazing.
I don't care about the chat skanks. You got
just
those points. Go ahead.
When it's been asked on, I don't know, 6 or 7 occasions, nobody said, "Yeah, I'm championing. This is awesome. Chop your flat earth head off with this," and that's what we're looking for, not some chat skank, as you just called them.
Yeah, I think somebody yesterday asked Rumpus. He was over at on Jose's because Ranty went over there. He was doing the rounds, and Rumpus isn't having it. You know, there's nobody going with them on this because I don't think they've ever actually explained it well enough for any of the ballers to be able to take it on because it's unexplainable.
I don't
So-
think Rumpus will take this
No,
one on
no,
'cause
no,
he
no,
knows that
no,
this is
no,
not
no,
a
no,
ball.
no. Rumpus just isn't stupid.
Yeah.
Clofton is stupid. He has to say some dumb things. Doesn't make him stupid. Doesn't mean he doesn't recognise when something's an absolute flat Earth killer.
Yeah.
No, I think he's going to say, yeah, if it is a flat Earth killer, I'll jump on board. If it isn't, he's going to shy away from it, and that's the bottom line, right? Rumpus
Yep.
knows what's what.
Absolutely.
Give him credit where credit's due.
So that's a
I
good
asked
detection.
Rumpus personally. What does he think about the whole thing? And he says, basically, I'm not going to say it verbatim, but basically he said he's very dubious about the whole lot. But I said that's what I expected.
There we go.
Yeah.
Credit where credit's due.
If Ranty's gonna turn to the baller side, maybe we could get Rumpus to turn to flat Earth.
I don't want him.
That is kind of funny. I did think, well, it's like Wednesday now, right? That this supposed proof has been out for a few days. I'm like, why hasn't Rumpus showed up to tell us how we're utter morons and this is absolutely proves the globe? That's weird for the greasy lawyer.
Exactly, Chocolate. Exactly, Chocolate. Right. That's why I tried to get Anthony to reiterate that question on the live show. That's why I stopped and paused and asked QE to reiterate it on yesterday's show. If this is a flat Earth killer, who's here championing it? Answer: nobody.
Ranty can't even champion it. He can't even come and talk to us about it.
See, this is the thing. They've pawned it off as a flat Earth killer, but no one's. Well, I won't say no one, but we haven't really posed the question to certain globe earthers about whether or not it's a globe Earth killer. We haven't even made the argument yet.
It's just a picture from reality.
I mean, what's he gonna say?
Hold on,
There's no
Elijah.
infraction or-
Hold on. That kicks off tonight, so I'll plug it. Although when this goes out tomorrow, it'll have already gone out. But I've labelled the video. Cat's big picture is a globe Earth killer. Lol. It's a black swan. So yeah, that drops tonight. But yeah, we discussed it yesterday. We're already all over this. I don't know if you were part of that. I remember if you were in the edit either.
Did anybody count yesterday how many times Ranky said Bev? He's got a personal vendetta against Bev. I'm not really sure what's going on with that.
Is that clear?
Well,
Yeah.
Maybe because we're ruining
what's up, man?
his game.
It's like a throwback episode. This is weird.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? I think
I was saying maybe it's because we're ruining his ploy.
Nah, it's because when someone comes up with an absolute stone cold globe killer, let's talk about it in the other context for a second. I'm sick of talking about it like they've contextualized it because it's not a flat Earth killer. Nobody is here championing it. Let's just establish that. Now let's just flip the table and say, what is it? Well, it's a globe killer. It's a black swan. Rejoice. It's a really nice picture. And look at it. All of the old crews here to put the thumb screws on Ranty, Ruhif, and Cats. It's epic.
Actually, is Sleeping Warrior still here? Because I've got another one. When I was there taking these pictures, we took the longer picture, which I found more interesting. Might take me a minute to find it. It's there you go. This one. Now, if you take the mountain shot on that, can you see that one?
You have to get, whenever you do something like this, you have to give me a second so I can get it presented to the audience.
Okay.
In live stream, could someone from G Plus present what's just been posted in Discord live stream? Is that possible?
22 secs.
Thank you very much, Adam.
Okay, so you can see Blackpool Tower in the big one.
Bev, I'll try once more. Yeah. I should figure a way, a little sentence that makes this clear. I'll think about it tonight. Just while we sort it out, I just need you to just hold fire so we can have your information up on screen, but it's going to take a couple of seconds. In the meantime,
which one are we after?
The one that's just been posted.
I'm in live stream by perpendicular.
Blackpool, yeah. Blackpool just at the far right hand side of it.
Give me 1 second.
Also, while we're getting it presented, Adam Meakin is ace. Just thought I'd drop that in there.
Super ace. What you mean?
Indeed.
Okay, right, Bev. if you can hold fire on everyone else in G+ or otherwise, while Bev just talks us through why this is an ace picture. I'm sure it is. Go ahead, Bev.
Well, this is the same picture taken from the same side, so it gives you an idea. I mean, there is a bit of zoom in that also, but it gives you an idea of how small an angle these people are calculating. And when you see what happens, it moves up and down. But that isn't what I found pretty interesting in this, is if the mountains are there and you look at this on Google Maps, you put your position in, you put your line in across to the mountains and all of that. But you look to the left, all of those mountains, they go all the way along. And if you're looking on Google Earth, you know that bit on the far left-hand side, the last bit of land? You know where that is? It, actually on Google Earth, the last bit of land you can see. That's St. Bees.
No way! That little nose.
That little nudge on the left-hand side. Well, on Google Earth, the last bit of land that you should be able to see on the left there is that. Now, I've always thought that's Barrow, because somebody told me that that's what they were photographing from Blackpool. But since we went and took this picture and actually drew some lines, because, I mean, it's just a picture. But, yeah, you try it from Southport, Blackpool Tower, that bit on the left-hand side there is St. Bees. Now, if it is St. Bees and you can see it, you can also see that little bit of land from Blackpool. So there's a chance that the great Ranty's been taking pictures for 5 years and looking at St. Bees 60 odd miles away from sea level. What do you reckon to that?
That was disgusting.
Whoever that was, thank you. Okay, thank you, Ben. Also, just before we get off track, I want to give you props. It's slightly bitter when I was thinking about how I'm going to give you these props, because it's the same sort of props I used to give Ranty. So you're the boots on the ground actually doing this stuff, right? And that requires a lot of commendation, in my opinion. So
It's
you're
just
out there
taking
doing
pictures,
this stuff,
Yeah, hang on. So theoretically speaking, then should I be able to see Blackpool Tower from St. Bees?
Possibly. That's the implication.
Because that was what my original goal for going to St. Bees was, to see if I could see it, and it was that small. It was lost in the background.
You'll have to get it on Google Earth.
Hold on. Well, if you've got the picture up, right, Anthony? Can you see what we're looking at? I don't know if Adam's prepared to just zoom back into that little nose. When you look at the angle,
yeah, I'm looking at it. That must be Blackcomb then, the mountain at Blackcomb.
I think so. Yeah, that's what I reckon.
The reverse would be true in terms of what Blackpool would look like from that position, Anthony. Think about it. I said you did say this wasn't at maximum zoom, did you not?
No. Oh no, that's definitely not at maximum zoom. I mean,
I don't think that is St. Bees. I think that's Blackcomb. It's the edge of Blackcomb, because I don't think you can see that far.
It's too small. Look, if you can look at them, all of those mountains over there, why shouldn't you be able to see those mountains there? There's no mountain blocking it when you look on the Google Earth.
Where's Blackcomb? If you can identify Blackcomb Mountain, then we might be having a conversation there. But I don't think that Blackcomb is. I don't think that you can see that.
Like I say, it's just a picture to us. But if you look on Google Earth, that's the furthest part of land that you can see.
I'm going to stop you there, right? You can't downplay what you're doing here, right? This is a very exciting time. I've got to admit, right? There's been seldom things to get excited about since 1st Jan 2020, Black Swan, right? Well, this is that, right? This is something to get excited about. And I know you're downplaying it, Bev, and I'm giving you props, and you're not saying, "Oh, great, yeah, I know, it's wonderful, isn't it?" Now, maybe that's just because you're a modest man. Good for you. Downplay what's going on here. Anthony got it right yesterday when I was making the edit. I was smiling from ear to ear when Anthony's like, "This needs more investigation. This does." I'm like, "Yeah, you're damn right." Not only that, we can put the thumb screws on them to do it. It's all positive for us. So don't downplay this, and pat yourself on the back. I'm going to give you the same props as I gave a minute ago before someone belched. Your boots on the ground doing this stuff. You say it's just a picture, because it's sometimes a little underwhelming when you grab this stuff. Now, I've been over Anthony's shoulder when he's been doing this sort of stuff, and it gives me goosebumps. And afterwards, he'll be like, "Oh, I didn't quite get. It wasn't quite this. It wasn't." And I'm like, "Joking? Just wow." You've been out there, you've got it, and now we're discussing it, and it is exciting. And there's glowbeds out there claiming that it comports with a begging the question proof of nothing perspective hijacking curve calculator, from what I've been told today. And they're also using it to And straw men of perspective only when it's flat Earth model that only Walter Bislin's put up as his little straw man next to his perspective exclusive calculator. So in terms of the discussion, man, it rates way up there, Bev. So don't downplay it, man.
Well, we do this live. We went live 3 times last week on 3 Space doing this.
We've got
from Black.
all in all out, Tony. It won't let me do it.
Nobody's listening to you, Bev.
Just zoom out.
Yeah.
They're all very
on Google Earth if you want.
And then
Hey,
do
guys,
us a favour, go
guys.
to Skype and get the image that I've just sent you on Skype and present it, because I think that is St. Bees, because you can see that is Blackcomb there in the foreground. But if you look at the image I've just sent you, look at the shape of the land. Blackcomb drops off with a steep thing to it, whereas that one continues. You are looking at St. Bees Head there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just said I have it on Google Earth here.
I've got it up, Brian.
Yeah,
you got a little bit rum.
We went live last week 3 times with this, over actually on location. We're doing live tests all the time, and it's nothing big. We do
It
this
is.
stuff all
Why are
the
you
time.
downplaying it? Oh, God. Right, I'm going to get this through to you, modest or otherwise. Right? Don't downplay what you're doing. Just don't. You're going to be getting. I don't want to have to blow smoke up your ass. Don't make me do it.
Don't.
Because he's doing it every day, he's saying.
Yeah, it seems that way when you're doing it. On, Brian, was it?
With me?
That was Elijah.
For us, it's like, well, I mean, a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation for the globe earthers. If you present the Black Swan and then say, oh, word? Okay, well, what about this? Like, what are they going to do?
Yeah, you're right. It's a win-win for us. It's a lose-lose for them. Absolutely. Were you trying to get something in there, Neil?
No, it's saying he's downplaying it because he's got his boots on the ground and he's doing these things daily, I guess, right? Yeah. It's nothing to Bev. It's something big to us.
We got the camera, right? And then we went to Bedford Levels. So my lad sat in Bedford Canal filming that. The week after that, we went to Blackpool, Southport, just down the beach from where we took that picture, and got the Fata Morgana sunset. I don't think I've ever seen one better on the internet. So these sort of things just happen to my lad when he takes pictures.
They're experiencing them and capturing them, and I know you're like, well, so they're nothing. No. That doesn't follow. That's not logically following, Bev. But we'll get there. I won't labour the point too much right now. But the reason you got rumpus when you were like, we've been down there, done it live, is because right on screen for my audience now is who's doing this? Is it
What do you think?
Brian has lined up the 2 different overlays from Google Earth and from man, it's just like back in the day, lads.
Oh, am I going to have to watch this on?
It's Anthony. I just want to say before you go. Oh, sorry, it's Adam. Sorry.
Okay,
before you go further, I just very, very small thing to state. It's 62 miles from Southport Beach, a straight line as the crow flies to St. Bees, and that heading sticking out there. The biggest elevation I can find at the corner of that is about 25 to 40 foot.
The thing is,
62 miles, but 40 foot height, sticking out of the water at most.
I'll tell you what's interesting. From that observation point at Southport, where the guy's done the observation from that we're all looking at, I'm just going to quickly get the distance from that observation point up to Blackcomb, that tip where Blackcomb drops into the ocean or the sea. And you shouldn't see any of that. All of that should be below the Earth curve because the horizon's supposed to be blocking it.
There's no
It's
Earth
that far
curve.
away. It's a low amount of land. You shouldn't see it.
Okay, just at this point, just because we can, I'm going to point out that when Anthony makes those statements, it's based on seeing the side of your own head, begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective hijacking, Earth curve calculations. Now, that's got to be dropped in at this point, just so we don't have the temptation to beg the question for them. And Anthony says those sorts of statements. So I'll drop it in, and I'm more than happy to not cut you off, but just drop it in because we've fought that battle and won.
Yeah, we do see it.
So it's 45 miles away to the base of Blackcomb, and if you say the eye height was 19 feet, was it? The geometric drop there should be 1,000 feet. Let me just check what the height of Blackcomb Mountain is. It is Elevation prominence 362. Elevation down to sea level is 600 meters. 6, 12, 18, 1800 meters, 1800 feet. So basically, half of that should be missing to Earth curve.
Right, I've got to do it again. Got to do it again. So, Anthony's just taken you through the begging the question, proof of nothing perspective, hijacking Earth curve assertion that in a feet and inches value, approximately half of the feet and inches, which do not change with distance, are missing. Now, in reality, we're looking at a picture and shit shrinks. So, when he says half the feet and inches value is missing, that means they've excluded perspective, and Anthony's doing it on their behalf. Just got to drop it every time, as it's a battle we have won. Sorry, Anthony.
I just want to point out that half that mountain should be obscured by Earth curve, and the rest of it that's not obscured would be blurred by the horizon, mishmash at the horizon. We should just be seeing the tippy top of it.
Said the globe earther, who's got a begging the question, proof of nothing perspective, hijacking curve calculator, whereas a flat earther, I say, there's a mountain. I see it because it's there. There's no reason why it should or shouldn't be seen at any given rate. I'm just seeing a mountain. Now, it should be behind Earth curve because that's an assumption that Earth curve should be in the way, and we're going to explain why it isn't with refraction based on R when we've debunked horizons. I'm just going to take you through the entire battle every time you beg the question on their behalf, Anthony. I'm really sorry.
It's okay.
And I would say
what Earth curve?
I would
Yeah,
say
exactly.
that,
What Earth curve?
Looking at
Yeah, sleepy. Oh, sorry.
And everything you're looking at is a hologram. So
Hold on. Is it
Yeah.
safe to say that every picture that they're going to take, it's on a flat plane, so we're always going to win?
Yeah.
You're never going to see a sphere. It's
Well
not
said.
there.
Well said. It wouldn't matter if we didn't have the extra bit cropped off. Doesn't matter what the picture is. There's no Earth curve edge horizons. There's no physical drop. It's measurably, observably, and obviously bloody flat. But yes, well said, Neil.
Can I say something real quick? If you survey out 1 mile and you measure an 8-inch drop, would you call that an elevation change or would you call that Earth curvature?
An elevation
If it's
change.
water, you'd have
That's
to
right.
say
You
it was...
can never measure curvature because it doesn't exist.
Nope, that's correct. And what they show in terms of elevation changes, in terms of things like Google Earth, don't include any drop. There's no 8 inches per mile squared drop. It's just a flat plane. So it's measured flat. Oh, right. No, it went from WGS 84. What he's saying is when they mapped it out, they utilized a tangent plane to use Euclidean geometry to survey it and demonstrate it as flat. Yeah, we know our way around your arguments like the back of our hand, don't we now? So it's all flat, measured flat then. Yeah, it's flat. Earth's flat. In case anybody's watching this right now and doesn't appreciate it, the Earth is flat.
Earth is incredibly flat. The Earth is very flat.
The Earth is flat, and this is a fact.
I did not say that the level is not horizontal.
The Earth is flat.
I agree,
It is,
level's
yeah,
horizontal.
Google
The Earth
needs
is
to
flat.
be
The Earth is flat.
It's Bev's picture.
It's fantastic. Is this the Bev, the image that's on screen? I know you can't see it, but is this the image that was presented the other day when you took the same image, or is it a different image?
Well, listen, when I did that the other day, when you say presented, I went on to Brandon's show and literally posted a couple of pictures like I've just done here. And that's it. Ranty then took them and did his darkening and he cut it and he did. So I don't know, literally, I don't know which one he did. He's never talked to me about it or whatever. So these pictures that I'm giving, they're just the pictures I took. Well, my lad took.
What I want you to focus on, Bev, is look at that Black Combe, the mountain. Meeking's got it on screen now. I know you can't see it, but in the after show, or if someone can screenshot this and send it to you, you can see that Black Combe is what we're looking at. But you can also see that there's more land off to the left behind it. Now, the land that's behind it should not be visible because, like you said, it's St. Bees. But that is completely gone by Earth curve, all of it. So we're seeing the land that we shouldn't be seeing.
We are just seeing it, though.
Gone by Earth curve.
My God, Anthony.
When you assume a beg the question, proof of nothing perspective hijacking Earth curve calculator on a geometric horizon giving you an R value, when you do that, you would make the assertion that it should be behind an Earth curve edge that we've debunked with the Black Swan. No, it shouldn't be behind an Earth curve edge. That's the assertion that would then be corrected with their refraction that we've debunked with the Black Swan. I just see a mountain There's no assertion needed as a flat earther beyond me seeing a mountain. There's no should or shouldn't be there.
The elevation is all measured from the same horizontal. Whenever you're even doing that, aren't it? You measure an elevation. There's no curvature to the elevation underneath that. It's just horizontal base, vertical elevation. That's it.
Sorry, Bev. Anthony's going to start hating me. He loves to beg the question. And every time he does it,
it annoys me as well, Nathan. It really does. Stop it.
Yeah, you are. You always do, Tony. You can't help yourself.
Oh, this has turned into a jab at Tony. I like it. I might keep it going.
Can I say one more time that from Southport Beach, which I put it at the exact place where the photographer was, and I used the
Do you know the exact position where the photographer was?
Hang on. I used the elevation height that was given to us by the cats, and all them.
Yeah, they just made that up, right? They don't know. Nobody knows actually where the photo was taken from because nobody's even bothered asking me.
Bev. Keep it very simple. There's 62 miles between wherever that photograph was taken and St. Bede's. The highest piece of headland I can find is around for that headland at most is about between 40 foot and up to about, if you go back in, you're going up to about 290 foot. Now, according to Globe Mathematics, there is a geometric drop there in their model of 2,630.06 feet.
Absolutely epic. Thank you very much, Brian.
I was trying to say.
666, I think we calculated.
I'm going to say, first and foremost, huge, massive, enormous thank you to Bev, and of course, a massive thank you to both Discord and G Plus panels for making today's after show possible.
All right, we're pretty much back. You back?
Yeah, I'm back.
I marked him initially years ago as CGI Birds. I never trusted him. I drug him around by his short hairs on countless occasions behind the scene. Yeah, I marked him immediately.
I remember, and then that was why he split into his own channel, wasn't it? That or why he sort of promoted himself as his own standalone. And he the first month or two, he came back to Flat Earth Debate, and he would kind of feature for a minute or two to try and bring guests back to his channel. But yeah,
he's a dumbass. He's incoherent. He has no science acumen to speak of. He thinks because he's gone out and taken pictures, he's like some flat earth guru or something. He's a delusional Dunning-Kruger numpty dipshit. I'm glad he's over there. Stay, please. Right? We'll deal with you. There.
Yeah, most of his stuff was always claimed as a globe earth proof, boats disappearing over the curvature. A lot of his early stuff was what the ballers would always throw at us, saying, Ranty's proved the globe, Ranty's proved this, Ranty's. So I don't know.
I don't care what any ballers say.
Peculiar that cats
I don't really care about.
So fallacious.
I don't really care about that. Are any baltards championing this photo? Anyone in here? Yeah, you better shut up.
Yeah. Come on, speak up.
You better shut up.
I want to hear them. Come on, speak up. You guys are all in the chat. Come to VC.
They ain't gonna say anything. They know they'll get their ass in a sling quick. Just wait till I leave, then they'll come rolling on in or take themselves off mute.
That's right. Hey, so Professor Perpendicular or Bev, you were here yesterday, right?
Not in here, no.
You weren't here yesterday?
No.
How'd I get that picture?
Which picture?
The Kevin Jackson picture.
You probably got it from me. I posted it.
No, I posted it at the end of the live show yesterday. You guys were talking about it. I posted the was it the Southport shop, the gallery shop picture? Is that where you got it from?
Yep.
Yeah, I posted
that. That's what I'm talking about. I didn't know who you are, of course. So I got a question about that time lapse.
Yeah.
How is it? I've never done that. How is that done? Can you slow that down and watch?
Yeah, that one was just a 30-minute video that I sped up and then turned into a GIF.
Oh, okay. So you have the video at normal speed.
Yeah.
All right. That's what I thought. So when you're watching that, the mountains suddenly grow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's incredible.
Yeah, you don't notice it when you're there. Like, when it's because it's a 30-minute video sped up that you just don't notice it. But you do notice all of the, the hazing on the floor. It actually looks like waves and ripples coming across all of the land. And yeah, I mean the angle that they all say that they're going for is like 0.4 or 0.5 of a degree. It's a nothing angle. So you're looking all the way across a bay. There's like 10 miles of flat bay water there.
Right.
And that's all you see.
So you shouldn't see the base of that tower even. So
you won't see the base of the tower anyway, because it's like 2 miles in to Blackpool. Like, you see Lytham St Anne's and Lytham seafront, and then Blackpool Tower is like 2 miles beyond that. And then like Blackpool Tower is by the seafront, but it's round the corner, if you will. Blackpool Tower.
Oh, okay. So what am I looking at when I'm looking at the base of that tower? Is that like buildings in front of it?
Yeah, you're looking at the seafront of Lytham, or Lytham St Anne's. Then there'd be houses that are obviously on the seafront, and then like a mile or two of buildings, and then you can see Blackpool Tower behind all.
Dude, I even gave you 40. I even gave you 40 feet, Bev.
What do you mean?
I even add to it, and you still shouldn't be able to see that basin.
What do you mean? You can see it.
I know. I'm saying you shouldn't. I even gave you more feet, and you still shouldn't see it.
Well, I don't know. I'd said ages ago to Ranty when he came over and saw us at Southport, what we could have done. I asked him, it was before the laser thing with John D. I said we get a laser and I could stand on Southport Ainsdale Beach and he could come to that corner bit where the big one is and just shine his laser and we'll see what sort of height across the beach, because that's 13 miles across that bit there.
13.
Yeah.
So that.
Well, to Blackpool Tower it's 13 miles, I think. 19k.
I thought it was 19.
Yeah, 19k.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's why I put in, and then I put 29 feet. Gave me 6.6 miles.
You put 29 feet for the observer height when you're basically standing on the ground there?
It's not
but that's
the ground.
Is that elevated?
Yeah, higher level. Site level.
They put 0 just beyond them rushes and the reeds at 0 sea level.
Ooh.
So the picture that we took, don't know about. I think we were 17, possibly up to 27 feet stood on top of a dune, taking a picture along the trail.
So 27. So the obscured object part will be 106 feet.
I don't know. You're doing calculations on a picture.
I'm rough.
Yeah.
Roughly.
I don't think you should do that. It's not wise.
He's just doing distance calculations, right?
Yeah. I even give you 40 feet, right? Just saying. And that's 84 feet. And you still shouldn't see the basin. This stuff is.
You won't be able to see.
Well, you shouldn't see across you shouldn't see across the water.
There's trees.
You see the shore. You can see the freaking land.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Somehow I'm finding this hard to believe that this dude is this stupid.
Yeah, there's something definitely strange going on, isn't there? Because
yes, indeed.
He lives there.
Yes.
Why has he never took the picture himself? Why does he wait to do 2 months of looking on a Facebook one and then wait for me to go and have a look, or take my lad? We take a picture and he jumps on that as though, I mean, he could have gone there himself. Like I say,
take his drone.
Nothing unusual about taking that photo. It differs every day on whatever temperature it is and what time of the day it is and where the sun comes across and where it's hitting the bay and how much water's in it and, how close the tide is. There's all sorts of weird factors that go on, but he should know that. He lives right there.
In 30 minutes, all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
Then he's got a drone.
Yeah.
So he can
fly there, couldn't he?
Yeah. Does he really have that drone, or
no? Well,
did he finally show that drone?
Does he have the camera? I don't think he's got the camera anymore. He should have been taking
that money.
Pictures.
Yeah, I think he just likes to steal people's money. I don't want to say that, but it just adds up. I don't like judging people, but when they show what they're doing, it's not really judgment. It's just saying what they're doing. He started, with the fear mongering last year with this, you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to get into it really, but I knew from the get-go, I didn't watch the dude. But as soon as I watched him, it was like, oh my God, why is he on Nathan's show at all? And then I was glad to see him go.
You gotta say you're totally blowing my mind right now.
You twat. How do we know the Earth is not flat?
We don't. It's flat.
That was that.
Understanding of the world in which you live, then of course the world looks flat. The world looks flat. The world looks flat.
Neil.
Bitch. You twat.
I gotta say, you're totally blowing my mind right now.
That's what I do. 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 What I do.
But I don't have much patience for anyone who denies that this challenge is real. We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society. Flat Earth Society.
My friends, these people are so out of touch with science. You don't need to be a scientist to know that the Earth is round.
They must have been founding members of the Flat Earth Society. They would not have believed that the world was round.
Like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash.
He's not going to want to come and talk. I can tell you that.
No, I don't doubt it.
They're going to need the geometric horizon, which is they don't have.
Yeah, just saying there is still always an argument from a globe trencher's point of view, and that is the argument that they'll have. I already know. They've already had it. I've already had it with them on other occasions, so I know what their argument will be in terms of juxtaposition in false dichotomy, if you want a nice long title for it.
But I understand what they're going to say. Well, there's standard refraction because that's based on their ore. But where is the geometric horizon in this photograph to give them the standard refraction? It's not there.
You know, we do have a geometric horizon, though. It's horizontal. Right?
Cleary?
Hey, what's up? We do have a horizontal geometric horizon that we see. You know, we don't see a curved sphere edge.
That's true.
But it is geometric. It's optical.
Okay, if you like. You can utilize it in that manner. You're assuming the Earth's a flat plane when you do so.
Yeah, it's parallel planes, you know, with elevation. But...
the horizon visual thing.
Yeah, horizontal is a geometric term, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yes, but then you're assuming the Euclidean in the first
that's
instance.
just the definition of horizontal. Parallel with the plane of the horizon. Horizontal's perpendicular to vertical. They're both straight lines. I mean, that's geometric.
Yeah, it is assuming Euclidean geometry.
It's not. Horizontal isn't assuming Euclidean geometry. It's a straight line. Straight lines are straight.
Let's reword
Hold on, he's right. He's right. Hold on. Hold on.
Geometry.
He's right. He's got me. You're right. I'll have to concede there. You're right, Bev. It's not even being pedantic. You're absolutely correct. I don't have to assume anything Euclidean. I'm just so used to the assumptions that are made and having someone play devil's advocate as a fundy. I'm wired that way, but you are right. No, it's just horizontal. Why do I need to assume anything? You're absolutely correct.
Yeah. The way we describe the space that we're in, I'm sorry, Nathan. The way we describe the space that we're in is Euclidean 3 space, right? X, Y, and Z, Cartesian coordinates. That's how you survey. That's how you measure elevation based on a horizontal.
That's great.
It's just a position of even altitude. In reality, it's used by everybody, and everybody understands a horizontal reference, right? And they all understand the vertical. Horizontal and vertical are perpendicular to each other. I mean, that's a geometric fact of reality. Nobody needs to go around that. I don't think anyone is willing to argue that horizontal isn't a straight line either. So,
indeed,
yeah. The distance is a measured horizontal distance from A to B. Now, they had Blackpool Tower along the way there. So they had a vertical distance of the mountain and a vertical height of Blackpool Tower. Now, those two verticals in their drawing, using the trigonometry that they used, were both right angles. They were both right lines, which would have made them parallel to each other. It's the only way triangles work in reality. That's the basis of surveying. I mean, that's what we've been doing all this time. It's just trying to base on, is level horizontal or is there a curve? Loads of people say there's a curve. It appears Ranty now thinks that horizontal baseline has a drop to it. I don't know how that occurred from looking at a picture, but yeah, it's horizontal and the vertical.
Insanity. What is going on?
Just knows willing ignorance. He's just playing around.
Yeah, I think he's trolling them. I think, seriously.
I think he's trolling them.
This is as though he's leading them into this conversation right now. What Ranty has to do now is explain: is there a drop or is there a hump? Which of the globe earthers is he? With the water level dropping from your position, or the water level humping in between the two ends of your water level? Like, you know, that's the age-old baller paradox. Ballers don't want to do it. I think they've pushed Ranty up to have a go at it. It's going to be fun times.
I think he just likes to steal people's money. I don't want to say that, but it just adds up. You know, I don't like judging people, but when they show what they're doing, it's not really judgment. It's just saying what they're doing. He started, you know, with the fear mongering last year with this. You know what I'm talking about. I don't want to get into it really, but I knew from the get-go. I didn't watch the dude, but as soon as I watched him, it was like, oh my God, why is he on Nathan's show at all? And then I was glad to see him go.
Dumbass. He's incoherent. He has no science acumen to speak of. He thinks because he's gone out and taken pictures, he's like some flat earth guru or something. He's a delusional Dunning-Kruger numpty dipshit. I'm glad he's over there. Stay, please.